Hi, friends. It's night 9 of the Spring Goddess Portal, and it's really a deep pleasure for me to see us all the way through all 10 of the Dasha Mahavidyas, the wisdom mothers, these mothers of great insight and so many layers of complexity, so much to this. Our last two goddesses, Ma Matangi and Kamalatmika, who we'll meet tomorrow night, they are sisters. They're kind of like twin sisters, and we'll even see it in their iconography, just how interrelated they are in their yantras, in their goddessy forms. They are really their own women. Ma Matangi is the enchantress, and she's the woman of the people. She is a dynamic entity, carrying the goad and the bow and the noose, and these are flowers. Sometimes she's depicted playing the vina. So it's rather complex when we want to be definitive about this goddess came before this one in the human timeline. I think a lot easier and, frankly speaking, way more fun way of approaching the goddesses is to see their interwoven archetypes and to also go back through our own body technology, through the wisdom that lives in our own bodies, whether we are South Asian people or not. We can use the body technology that we have to travel and go back into these ancestral indigenous origins and learn for ourselves what's the spirit of their origin. What is the land where they are from, and how does the land speak to us? Yeah, this is some real ancestors future approach here, but this is totally my MO at the moment. So Matangi, the whole of the Dasha Mahavidyas, we see them show up in other goddess forms as well. In the case of Matangi, when she's shown with the 7-stringed instrument, the vina, there's another extremely popular and wise and blessing bestowing goddess named Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom, who also carries the vina. But Matangi, she is emerald green in color, and her clothing is a deep vermilion red. We've been learning about these colors all week and how colors that work in opposites will flip in the brain, right? So she's deep emerald green, which means when you see her in mind's eye, she might be red, and her garb is green, right? And just like how the yantra wisdom works, the yantra mechanics. I don't even think I told you guys, yantra means machine, mechanism, tool. Mantra and yantra work together to come alive. The way you make a yantra come alive is through applying mantra. This. And what's the machine? This body. The yantra is your body. Yeah, it's really just so amazing science. Okay, so back to Ma and her iconography. So the 7-stringed instrument, the vina, when we see it with Ma Saraswati, she's seated on the swan. She looks very elegant. She's also a very old archetype. Now, which one came first, Matangi or Ma Saraswati, is going to be a debate that cannot be conclusive. And guess what? I don't really think it matters. I think what matters is connecting to the archetype's story, their narrative, and what they're evoking within us. The 7-stringed instrument is this body. It's the neurology of the body, the cosmologies of 7. When we're talking about cosmologies of 7, we're referencing the chakra system, although there are more than 7 chakras, but those first 7 like this. And Matangi, like Ma Saraswati, represents wisdom, speech. Sometimes she's even, pictured with a book, but these are arrows actually. Well, they're flower arrows, because whenever you see the iconography of the flower arrow and the bow, that's pointing you towards the Cupid. Now, she is a young woman who has not engaged in sex. She's the ever romantic. And in that restraint of sorts, she is incredibly enticing. She lives in a fantastical world that is green, lush, flowers, birds of paradise. I think of like a fantastical, jungly wallpaper. It's like the world she lives in. Her art, her music, her poetry. She is the bard. But remember, these are all very wrathful goddesses also. She is the social justice activist. She is the justice warrior of the downtrodden. If we look through the patriarchal lens for her origins, she'll be attributed to a specific rishi who didn't want to have Brahman initiation, and he was a downtrodden caste, and this is his daughter in a downtrodden caste. I don't think it's so much about her being an outcast. She is, like, that is absolutely her archetype is outcast. I think in addition to being the outcast, she is the wilderness. She is organized and disorganized chaos. She is the artistry of life that happens through the chaotic and cosmic movements. Think about a prolific artist that you know. They may or may not have good habits, and they stay up all night and they produce their art and they write their books and they make their music, and you just know better than to disturb their process. It's another aspect of hers. Now, her wisdom aspect is skillful means. She's a lot about right timing. Skillful means isn't just about an aspect of time. Skillful means is like the right medicine in the right amount at the right time. She's the paradox of ignorance and wisdom. And she is so embodied. Ma Matangi also means the Earth Mother. So she is the embodiment of the organized chaos of Earth. She is enchanting. She's the enchantress. She is fantastical. And okay, let's look at her yantra. So her yantra, we see these storylines of green and pink and the six-pointed star. Let's see what this is about. The bupur is of dark olive green, which is a combination of yellow ochre and olive green and white. The eight-petaled lotus symbolizes the eightfold prakriti. We've heard about this several times. Symbolizing 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and 3 internal organs of mind, intellect, and ego. The color of the petals are pink. A 6-pointed star of light yellow ochre with a touch of emerald green is set in a neutral white background. The golden bindu in the center represents Ma Matangi herself. So here we are on the earth, we are of the earth, we are playing the earthly game, we are playing in her game board. And her game board is so rich and wise, like a young person wise beyond her years. She is in the world of rhythm, riddle, and rhyme, of poetry, of art, and aesthetics. We'll see a lot more said about aesthetics and the abundance of life when we meet her twin sister tomorrow night. But for tonight, I invite you to be in the art of life, the things in right balance, the joyfulness of spontaneity. So beautiful. We've got one more to go. That's fun and exciting as well. I'm going to catch you tomorrow night. Then enjoy dreaming with Ma this evening. I'll drop an essay tomorrow to share a little bit more with you as well. It's been such a rich, rich time. I hope this has been enriching for you too. I'll catch you tomorrow.